Good morning, everybody. Welcome once again to BTL Bass Talk Live, where we're going to talk bass fishing and anything else that we want to talk about. Look, dude, old school. I'm going old school today. This is Tack Twill.
I know. It is not a Nike product.
No,
you do have the Nike hat on.
Old school, man.
I
found this. I was cleaning out the closet.
Before we get going with the show, I believe that we had a gentleman's bet.
What was that? We do this all the time. I don't
was
recall.
about the wind speed.
What was
from the
maximum,
Arctic?
What was the maximum wind speed that day?
39.
I didn't even look.
39.
Did not reach a peak of 60. Correct.
Therefore, you owe me
Chick-fil-A.
All right.
Chick-fil-A.
Just got to get that out of the. Got to get that off.
I have no problem paying up my debt when I lose, and I lost, and I put way too much trust in the meteorologists people here in Oklahoma.
All right.
It was like Katie bar the door, 60 mile an hour, 70 mile an hour.
Anyway,
so yeah, I'll hook you up with some Chick-fil-A. All right, good show today. We're gonna have Dean Rojas on live via Skype. Big announcement coming from Dino, and we'll see. This is big news, man.
Yep, within
big
the industry,
news.
it definitely
Yeah.
is. So
big news.
Excited to see what he has to say.
Yeah.
About what will be going on
Yeah.
in the 2018 Elite Series season and beyond for Mr. Rojas.
No doubt. All right. The other thing is, over the weekend, I had a chance to watch The Prophet. Talking about Marcus, the guy that bought Gander and he owns Camp and Word and all that, his show on CNBC. And I got to watch the Rageous Outdoors show.
That was it about a week and a half ago.
6 days. I think 6, 7 days.
Yeah, we actually got a couple viewer emails asking what
our opinion.
Asking for your opinion, knowing that you are the business mind who has been in the corporate world.
Oh,
they know crazy. That I don't. They know I just am a fishing bum.
It was crazy when I watched that to see some of the things that were. I had no idea.
No,
and I think a lot of people had no idea about what was going down. But the dude ends up getting fired from his radio gig, and then he ends up taking a leave of absence
and I think
from
he's
Rageous.
Been released from Rageous, too, is what I read.
It is
leave of absence.
Dismal picture for those guys and some of the stuff that was discovered and showcased during that program. And Marcus said, I don't want any part of this. Nope, do not want to invest, do not want any part of it. He was kind of intrigued by the whole process and some of the things that he went through.
And the sublimation and all their...
Yeah, and Pollinix jersey was plastered all over the place along with a couple other people. I mean, just everywhere. But they interviewed the people that worked in the back. They interviewed, obviously, the other owner. And they were in debt up to their heads. They owed the government almost $90,000. They had no idea whether or not they were going to make payroll the following week. And then the employees are saying, hey, I don't understand why these guys are out fishing when they can't even make payroll. They were getting visits from the IRS, dude. It was an ugly, ugly picture. And then the comments made by the dude that was the radio DJ about being a racist and sexist. And come on. So he's out of there. He's out of there. Now, the only way that this situation is going to get any better is if somebody else besides the Prophet jumps in there and goes, okay, I'm going to help you guys out. But, dude, the PR work that they're going to have to do based upon what was
on 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and who knows what,
as
I said, I mean, who knows? I mean, you're the business guy.
It is bad. Really, really bad. Just from a PR standpoint, the things that were said. And they divulged a lot of information. Profit margins, and Marcus is saying, hey, you got to have at least a 50% markup if you're going retail. And then he asked him about the customized sublimation. And he goes, okay, how many of these do you sell? And he goes, 1. He goes, wait a minute. He goes, you do all this to sell 1 piece of clothing? Yeah. And Marcus was just like, I'm out of here.
Like I said,
I don't want any.
It was
part of
8
this.
minutes from all the stuff they filmed, so I'm sure they edited it out just to show
I want no part of this.
Just to show the crazy stuff.
So the feedback and some of the local news stories and some of the stuff that's out there from media people that were reporting on this, Very, very interesting. So I just, wow. I mean, talk about a company going down in just like what you said, 6-8 minutes, whatever it was. Pretty unfortunate, but it just goes to show you, you can't fish when you're trying to take care of business.
And who knows? Maybe they will turn this into a positive.
They may get some guy besides the prophet to come in there.
A lot of guys use their products,
Yeah.
their clothing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but wow, I don't know. The other thing, real quick, I do want to mention. Did you get a chance to watch any of the football? Did you watch the Minnesota game?
No, I mean I saw the
highlights. You saw
I
what
can't get
happened?
into NFL football.
Just not at all.
I mean, it has nothing. I just have never been into it.
Okay, so you saw the highlight and you
yeah,
saw what happened.
Saw 100% of what happened. The guy ducks and misses the tackle.
See, and there's a lot of people out there that say Jeffries. I've even got a couple of emails, and oh, by the way, keep them coming. All right, they say, what the hell are you doing, Jeffries? Why do you continue to talk about football, basketball, and all this and everything? You know the one thing that I thought of, and I don't know if anybody out there that likes football and basketball and any other sports, when something happens in sports, do you reflect back to something that happened in bass fishing? And you know what I thought of? Think about what took place in that Minnesota game and compare it to something that took place in the bass fishing world. And I don't know, I guess just because I've been around it.
You're not talking about the bitter thing, are you?
No. It was the first thing that I thought of.
The first thing that you thought of.
It was like, wow, that was just like
I don't know.
Takahiro.
Oh, you're going the positive side of it. Takahiro on the Lake Wiley Classic with the crankbait, the I knew it moment. He was down. It didn't look good. Boom, Hail Mary. Not a Hail Mary. He wasn't even Hail Mary, and he was trying to catch one. Yeah. Like they were trying to get it to kick, and then he wins the Classic. Okay, yeah.
You agree with that?
Yeah, that's a positive comparison.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go dark as to someone who had the tournament won and managed to lose it, but you went someone who had it lost and managed to win it.
But see, that doesn't happen. I guess you could say in the bitter situation, you know, but at the time he didn't know it. Mm-hmm. All right, and I guess with the talk situation at the time,
he didn't know it.
He didn't know it.
They weren't trying to throw a touchdown pass.
The build up and everything that took, I don't know. It just
that's a fair comparison.
Came back to me. See, I'm even being positive, dude.
I know. I like it.
Being positive.
I like it.
I had a brutal game last night too. Not even going to get into it. Lost by 9. All right. Do you not care anything about anything else that I'm doing in my life?
If it comes to freshman basketball, no.
Come on, man.
I really don't.
I got a tough game tonight too. Varsity though, not freshman.
In other fishing world news, FLW did come out and announce that they will continue with the FLW tour stop on Okeechobee as scheduled. That begins January 25th.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're off and running then.
Yeah. And obviously with the situation, it's going to be kind of, I don't want to say dicey. It's just going to be interesting.
It's a very unique situation as to what they do. I'm sure that there will be a lot of, you know, obviously they said there'll be a moment of silence before each day of competition. So.
For the people, I can't help this, man. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I am really concerned about
that. It says ass zone instead of bass zone on your.
I keep trying to.
Yeah, well, each of those on your sweatshirt. I wondered why you were touching your nipples so much during the first portion of the show. He's got for the iTunes viewers.
I've got the old school shirt.
Jeffries has and apparently no other. He's wearing the old Bass Zone hoodie, but each letter is actually stitched into.
It's tack twill. It's
tack twill into the hoodie, and it has a tendency to fold over.
Yeah.
But hey, I think people can understand what it is intending to say.
Yeah. Oh, Brian and Philly is actually putting odds out on what the Dean Rojas announcement is. You want to hear them? Obviously, I just posted it. It said bait company 2-1, boat company 5-1, retirement 50-1.
Okay, I think it might have something to do. I think he might have caught the world record red ear out of Havasu.
Highly doubtful on that.
I feel that's a possibility too.
What are the odds on that?
So what does he have? Bait company 2-1.
Yeah.
Boat
company 5-1. Retirement 50-1.
50-1.
Yeah. Yeah. Hang on, I'm looking at. See, people are going the negative side on the instant feedback with my comparison. They Andy in Indiana brought up the Jim Bitter situation. He also brought up Bill Buckner in the 1985 World Series. I don't know if you remember that.
That's a ball went through his legs.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, Jimmy voicing in. And then, the very first comment was from Dennis in Illinois. I didn't even know they were based out of Illinois. That's your home stomping ground. How far from where you grew up?
I think they're way up more north, aren't they?
Towards Chicago?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I have no idea. All right, what else? Anything else?
No, that's it.
We need to dive into?
No. You got anything else?
No, we made the big announcement, obviously, the first one-on-one. We're getting ready for that. We're going to have some very, very cool promos coming out
Wesley
on that.
Strader
versus Gerald Swindle on Logan
Martin.
Not Lake Martin.
Logan Martin.
But Logan Martin.
Following the Lake Martin.
Yeah, a lot of Martins in there.
Lake Martin Elite Series.
Isn't there a bird called a martin?
A purple martin.
Purple martin. Okay. You're the nature guy.
I do know my birds.
Yeah, you take pictures and everything, the cicada boy and all that. I'm trying to...
I think
a lot of people active. Jeez.
Yeah, I think we got Dean ready to go.
Well, I need to take a break.
Yeah, so I said if we got Dean on and take a break, I say we take a break and bring him back in and find out what the heck this big announcement.
All right, let's do that. We're going to take a break. Come back with Dean Rojas live via Skype. Everybody, stay tuned.
Most versatile fishing machine on earth. Unparalleled resolution and clarity with more agility, lightning speed, and brute strength. HDS Carbon takes rapid response performance and screen technology to an all-new level. Maximized power, maximized visibility. See Structure Scan 3D, new dual chirp sonar, new live network sonar, and more mapping options, all at the same time and faster than ever before.
Pros depend on hydraulic jack plates to get the best out of their boats. Do what they do. Demand Atlas performance. Atlas gets you from the bottom to the top in less than 8 seconds, even with the big 4 strokes. And when you gotta turn right around and get that heavy load back up in rough water, Atlas's innovative design and American-made components will get you there with confidence.
I'm at Depot. Just look for yourself. There's an Atlas jack plate on just about every professional's boat.
The Atlas hydraulic jack plate. You can depend on it.
My rods look different because they are different. Every rod is built by the pros and for the pros. When you pick up a White Ducket fishing rod, you're getting a cutting-edge rod, one that's truly pro-driven with the actions you need for every bait category you fish. I put my name on it. It's my promise to build you a great rod you can count on.
Ducket Fishing, Micro Magic, Macro Magic, or White Ice.
Try them. They work.
Gill that I've used for the last 5 years has been a far superior product than anything else on the market.
The main thing that's really important to me is me being dry. I've been wearing Gill suits now for 3 years and never once have I gotten wet.
The Lowrance Elite 7 Ti. Why does it lead the pack? It's simple. More bang for your buck. Use Elite 7 Ti with the all-new Total Scan transducer, and you get all of your sonar from a single transducer install. That's broadband sounder, chirp sonar, side scan, and down scan imaging from one transducer. Now that's something to chirp about. Elite 7 Ti. Premium features have never been so affordable.
I'm looking for signs before practice even starts. Crossing the bridge, I'm checking for current. Is the lake up or down? What's my watercolor? Bird activity tells me where the shad are before I ever launch my boat. Sometimes the best things hit me right in the face.
The pesky biffle bugs. There's always a hatch on your lake. Made in America by Jean LaRue Lures.
Dang bug juice, it's everywhere.
When I talk about Sunline, I think of one word: confidence.
Sunline FX2 is what I use for all of my frogging and flipping.
S61 braid, which braid plays a big part in fishing line.
Shooter, I'm going to use in those close quarter deals like flipping and pitching.
One of my favorite techniques in fishing the tournament trail is to fish offshore ledges.
We have taken the questions out of the equation.
Take my word for it. It works. It works, dude.
All right, we are back, kicking off the week on a very, very frigid Tuesday. It is freezing, Matthew.
Single digits.
This is the coldest winter I can remember in a long time, and we haven't had any snow. It's just miserable how cold it is.
Yep. It's a little chilly.
Yeah, the ponds are all frozen.
Yeah, I haven't. I actually went out to go to Thunderbird the other day, and it was frozen.
Yeah.
Like frozen across.
It's been so long since I can remember the ponds being frozen as much as they are. I see a bunch of ponds every time I go to the gym.
You know where it's not frozen?
Out west.
Go west. Lake Havasu City, Arizona.
And probably has never been frozen.
I don't know. It gets
maybe back in
cold.
the dinosaur age,
no,
maybe?
Probably not.
I don't know. So we kind of teased this. We had a silhouette of our guest, and then yesterday you made the change, and we made the announcement that we were going to have Dean Rojas on live via Skype with a big announcement, and I think it's funny that he put odds on that.
Yeah.
That's pretty creative. So let's bring in, let me get him queued up here, bring in Dean live via Skype.
Oh, look at that. That's the world record. The world record 5 in the background.
Yeah,
just
Dean,
just a subtle backdrop.
You there, man?
Good morning, you guys. Happy to be here.
Yeah. I'm going to mention right off the bat, I know we got the big announcement, but tomorrow is a big day also in the life of Dean Rojas. Do you know what that is, Matt?
I have an idea.
Tomorrow, big day, right, Dino?
Absolutely. Tomorrow, January 17th, is the day I celebrate. 17 years ago, tomorrow will be the day that I caught those 5 lovely bass back there.
Yeah.
The 45 pounds, 2 ounces was caught on January 17th, 2001.
Didn't you do something ridiculous last year, like pop a bottle of champagne on the 17th right in front and had a toast? I remember that.
I don't know. It's going to be cool today and tomorrow. It's just a lot of positive energy going on right now. Really excited. A lot of great things. It's supposed to be 75 degrees here in the desert today. It's going to be beautiful. No wind, nothing but sunshine and great things.
All right, man. Big announcement coming today. Matt and I obviously have been in the biz for a little while now, and we truly believe this is fairly big news, especially amongst the industry leaders, the media, and a lot of the fans. So what do we got, Dino?
Well, in 2018, how should I say, my involvement with Yamaha and Skeeter has come to an end, and on a good note. And so for 2018, I will be running a Suzuki.
Wow.
A 250 SS will be my outboard with a 625 Pro Elite Blazer bass boat. Blazer is coming into the bass market. They're excited. They want to showcase their product, and nothing better than a 250 SS Suzuki outboard motor.
So you got Suzuki, that's the Suzuki USA's out in California, and then Blazers in Florida, correct?
Yes.
So you got the country covered now, Dino.
It's been a busy time for me these last 6 weeks and keeping everything under wraps. But I've been to Florida, I've been to California, and I've been everywhere in between. Visited Boatfoot facilities, the manufacturing plant down in Pensacola, Florida, the Blazer Boat Line, the great people there, family-owned business. They've been doing it for 40 years. Kind of the people I like hanging around with, you know, just guys who are not afraid to get in there and get stuff done. They work hard and put a good product out there. You know, and Suzuki, what can you say? They were the first ones with the 4-stroke technology. They're taking up market share now on the offshore big boats with their 350A model and their 4-stroke technology. Well, just watching Brandon Carr the last 5 years on the tour, kind of says it for their outboards. They are very proud of their outboard. They've got a great product, and I look forward to helping them grow the brand and to promote the Suzuki line of outboard engines. They're all excited. Both companies are just exuding with excitement and positive energy, and it's such a breath of fresh air for me, for my wife, my family, my whole groups of companies that are around me are super excited. We're going to put a lot of money in promotion. Obviously, the Blazer line is going to do their lineup, and Suzuki is stepping up to the plate, and they want to be a major player, and they want to showcase their outboard engines, and this is the time and the place to do it.
Dino, why the move now? I mean, you had been with a company, especially when, okay, I get it. The economic times right now, pretty good. I talk about the stock market and how well that a lot of the top of the lines are doing in this industry. Why the move right now?
Well, I think that right now the industry is very healthy on all aspects. The boat manufacturers and the engine manufacturers are building a lot of products. Obviously, the stock market is roaring right now. There's a lot of money that is being spent, and a lot of that goes in, for boats and for engines and hulls and so forth. So there's a lot of excitement right now and a lot of positive things that are going on. And for me personally, it's being with Skeeter and Yamaha, and they build a phenomenal product, and I will always and ever be grateful for the assistance that they provided for me and my family, and all the great things that came with that. And we left on great terms. We just couldn't agree, on terms, and that was it. There's no hard feelings. They both have excellent products. I was proud to run their product for many years, but people change. Times change, things change. And so I like to look at my part right now is not how I'm going to end my career, but how I'm going to start out my career. And I look forward to the energy that Suzuki has and Blazer has. And they're a young Yamaha. When I was with them in '96, when we only had 9 transoms out there on the Bassmaster Tour, Suzuki has 5 right now. They're in the same process of that. And I learned a lot. I listened a lot on how that all came about and how Yamaha was successful in that. And I want to help Suzuki get to that point. So for me, I love just the people there. They're excited. There's a lot of just positive stuff that they want to happen, and I can't wait to give it to them. It's going to be great.
So who's going to be your title as far as your truck and boat wrap?
The truck will be, Suzuki will have full title sponsorship. So we'll have a full Suzuki wrap. Their X-Star, which is their line of oil and lubricants, will be a secondary sponsor below that. So basically, the boat and the truck will be predominantly Suzuki and X-Star oil and lubricants, which is a combined package. And then Blazer Boats will be an associate of that trifecta there. So those 3 big brands will be all over the truck, the boat, the jersey, floor graphics, social media, everything, the whole pie that I have, they will be associated with that in everything that I do.
Dean, you're changing up a lot of stuff here with the boat, the motor. Obviously, you like your sublimation on all your apparel, all your weather wear and stuff. So you have a lot of stuff to do this offseason, from getting all of this ready and getting. Talk a little bit about the time crunch, especially considering that Lake Martin kicks off the 2nd week of February. Are you going to be pushing it up to the last minute to have everything ready to roll, or is this something that has come together quickly and you'll be relaxed and ready for action in a cold Alabama lake?
Well, everything's on course right now to have everything done. The boat wrap, all my apparel. The people at Gemini have done a fantastic job. I already have a mock-up, a layout on my jersey. All I got to do is press the button and say, build it. So everything's in place. The boat wrap stuff will be taken care of this week. And the truck wrap, all that will be done. all my sublimation that's going to happen on my gill gear, that's all getting taken care of. I mean, all this stuff will be ready to go there. I won't even miss a beat going into Martin. There will be nothing left on the table. Everything will be there, and then growing into the Bassmasters Classic, and then into our next event after that. So, it's been a time crunch, but you can either. I just got busy working. I mean, it's been nonstop even before Christmas and even after Christmas. It's been nothing but traveling, on the phone, visiting with people, trying to get things done. And it's going to happen, man. It is an exciting time for me in the aspect of the different colorations and variations that I'm looking forward to wearing and to doing out on tour. And so it's just going to be, like I said, a breath of fresh air for me.
Dean, so many people are used to seeing you in the blue and in the red. Okay, what's going to be your primary color now?
Well, it's going to be red. Basically, red, gray, and black will be my three predominant colors. Predominantly red, and we'll have a red jersey, and the boat will be wrapped red, and the truck will be wrapped red also. Predominant, signage on everything. So I'm excited. It's going to be awesome.
It's a lot of red. You got any sneak peeks there? Anything you can flash up or anything, or not?
Yeah. Where did I put it?
Look at how organized he is in the background with the file cabinets.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
When you're
this
successful.
is my office. This is where everything happens, man.
Yeah.
I gotta have everything here. So hold on, let me see what I got here.
All right.
I can't find it.
No, that's fine. We'll have a dig around the office. Here it is. Just a quick flash. Just a quick flash. Right. This is the first time any of us have ever seen this.
Okay, so this is just a mock-up, okay? So the logos and stuff are not finalized, but that'll be finalized probably after the show when I get everything done. But that's what the jersey is going to look like.
Oh, so that's a darker red.
All right.
Yeah, that's almost would you say that's almost a crimson, Mark?
Almost.
So
that's pretty cool.
Matt, behind you in that picture that Mark took of Crete back there, it's going to be of that red. I think that's a red, or is that orange?
Yeah, that's a darker red. Yeah,
it's going to be like that.
Yeah, kind of like a crimson.
Very
like
cool.
the OU crimson. Very nice.
But that's the mock-up so far of what we got. There's going to be changes because Blazer needs to be put on there, but that's just a mock-up that we have right now.
I like it.
Yeah,
that's your first look right there.
Yeah. One of the neat things I'm doing too, and that I don't think I've seen anybody do, but I'm actually including the Arizona flag underneath the American flag.
Oh, cool.
Because we're, kind of a state thing type of deal for us. So kind of something different. I know we're, with the American flag, we're very proud to have that. But I'm very, very proud of being from Arizona, as you are from Oklahoma. So kind of a neat little deal there that I'm doing for 2018 also. So good stuff.
Cool stuff. All right, on the instant feedback, Andy in Indiana wants to know, did you get this deal done yourself, or do you utilize an agent?
Andy, I did it all myself. All the proposals. I have a PR guy that helps me with all that and gets me everything that I need to present them. But whenever I go to a company, I fly to them. I flew to these companies and sat down, looked them in the eye and told them exactly how I can make their business better and why I need to be a part of their program. And so at that point, that's the kind of business mind you have to have going into, a situation like this, because I compete at the highest level of professional bass fishing. And, I go up against the best every week and I love it. I thrive on that. So at that level, there's a certain level of professionalism that comes with that. So you need to be able to communicate, be able to talk to the companies and tell them exactly what you can provide for them in the way that they're going to benefit by bringing you on.
All right. He also has a question, Andy in Indiana, with the increased number of Elite Series guys running Suzuki's. Will there be a maintenance team out there to support you guys? Have you got to that point yet, Dean?
We did, and that was a very big topic of conversation when I visited Suzuki in Brea, California. And speaking with Gus and David over there, talking about a service program, crews there at the events. And at that time, for 2018, there will not be a service crew there at the Bass events, but it was something that they were looking at in 2019 for the amount of pros that are going to be running Suzuki outboards. I'm sure it's going to grow next year, but they're very proud of their motor. They build a great motor. And I know some things behind the scenes that I'd rather not say, but there's a lot of great technology there. I mean, folks, let me tell you, they've been doing this a long time, Suzuki has, and they are very proud of their outboard. Brandon Carter is the prime example of that, running 5 years and never having a problem out there. Engine-wise, impact-wise, that's going to happen. I mean, we're going to hit things. That's what we do. I mean, it's just part of it. But for the engine to fail, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
All right. Carl in Ohio wants to know, obviously, you don't have to disclose financial terms, but he wants to know how long is the deal?
Right now, it's a 3-year program right now on both the engine and on the outboard. On Blazer side and on Suzuki side. So I won't indulge the numbers, but it is very very good in that sense. But both manufacturers ask a lot of me, so which I'm used to that anyways, to providing a lot more. And but both of them are in it for the long haul, and I don't want to do this. Okay, I started with a brand that right out of when I was 20 years old and up until now. So I don't like doing what I had to do, but I had to get busy and I had to put some stuff forward, moving forward to fish the tour. So for me, I'm excited, and what seemed like Mount Everest I had to climb, and 5 weeks ago, I'm like, how in the heck am I going to do all this? To where now I'm 10 feet from the top, and I could see the top of it, and I'm going to get there, and with time to spare, and all that is just working hard and really staying focused on it and making it happen. And I did it all myself. My wife, she helped out a lot too. I mean, everybody, and my PR guy. So putting all this together at really a bad time because all the budgets are already spent. And, with a month and a half before the season starts, it's just there were a lot of adjustments that had to be made on both ends to make this happen. But clearly they saw, what I can provide for them and how it was going to benefit them in the future.
Dean, you've been with the other, over 20 years. So you get a feel for exactly how the boat rides, the boat feels, how the motor sounds at different RPMs. You intimately know all of those little details. How long do you think it will take you to get familiar and comfortable with, a new ride, a new handling, new sounds in the Suzuki and how it handles? Is that something that you're still going to be kind of playing with and familiarizing yourself with during the early portion of the 2018 season?
Yes, I think that's something I'm going to learn with. But I tell you what's interesting, Matt, is the last 5 years on Major League Fishing that we've done. I've driven Nitros and Bass Cats and different boats throughout the years. And so, for me, it's all about feel. It's about feeling what the boat is doing. I've done this so much. I know what the boat's about to do or what it wants to do, and I'm able to correct all that stuff. So I got to drive a Blazer. I was really impressed with it in the sense that at low speeds, at 3,000 to 4,000, which is what we normally drive at when we're looking at new water and going around, the boat is very agile. I mean, it's a very nice boat. It doesn't do anything stupid. It just goes wherever you point it. Because at times there are boats that just want to buck and porpoise and do a bunch of weird things. This thing was just a joy to drive. And then obviously the top end speed is going to be there. I'm not concerned about that. The layout is great. I was just, being with a boat brand for so long, and seeing the changes that went there into what it is I'm driving now, put a lot of fun back into it. I'll put it that way.
So is this going to get you back into the Classic? You had 9 consecutive years, 15 Classics made. Not a very good ending to last season. 106th place was your lowest on the Elite Series. So all these changes, the positives, are you saying you're going to be back in the Angler of the Year hunt and back in the 2019 Classic? Obviously you can't predict what's going to happen, but from a mental standpoint and excitement standpoint, preparation standpoint, ready to go back out and kick some butt?
I will be at the 2019 Bassmasters Classic. That is my goal. That is something that I know I can do. I'll strive for it. There was a lot of weird things that happened last year that I could not explain that just happened. But different mindset. Last year I had wrist surgery. We're all 100% now. Everything's good. And I had a lot of other things going on, but a clear head, a clear mind, great backing, great companies that are pushing, that want good things to happen. It's going to be a great 2018. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
All right, a couple people on the instant feedback, they want to know, what trolling motor are you going to be using?
Well, I will be running a Motor Guide trolling motor going into 2018. So we're currently working on that right now. They'll be shipping some down there to the boat and get everything installed. I'm a Motor Guide guy. Been like that forever, and they've been good to me for a lot of years. So I'm a Motor Guide guy.
All right. Any chance? It sounds like with this being, let's face it, they've been in the boat business and the motor business, both Blazer and Suzuki, for a while. But diving into the opportunities that you have right now with this deal, are you going to be placing any input? Is there going to be a Dean Rojas model? What's the long-term kind of outlook for your involvement with this boat company?
Funny you should ask that, Mark.
Well, that's why I do what I do.
They and this kind of hit me kind of different, when I went down there to visit with them, and they asked me if I would help them design a bass boat and some of the things that are the features that I like and that the consumer would want. So for 2019, we're going to be starting right away on a brand new design, Blazer bass boat with all the features that are updates that I think that people will want in a bass boat. And so I have a ton of knowledge. I've been driving the boats for a long time. Keith Kraft, the president there at Blazer, he's open to a lot of new things, which is great. He has a facility there. He has a manufacturing plant to make those changes just like that. And that is key whenever you're involved with an organization or a company that can make decisions just like that. Things can get done and things can get changed and things can get, adjusted. And so he wants to go ahead and design a boat for 2019. And I'm really excited about that. With the other brand, we've had some input, but it was always challenging on that end. I'm passing that along. This way, it's a lot different in this aspect of we're able to tell them and show them this is exactly how it is. And they go, okay, we'll build it then. So that's that excitement that I like. That's the emotion of wanting to do better and to be better. Those are the kind of people I want to be around. I want to be around positive, optimistic people that are always looking to the future to make the product better.
All right, so
very
we got
nice.
New colors, new boat, new motor. Any other changes that we need to be aware of, Mr. Rojas, or is everything else pretty much the same?
Well, it's like I said, it's been a busy deal, but I also want to bring up a brand new bait company that's coming aboard for 2018. It's called Epic Baits, EPIC, Epic Baits, and their involvement is going to be an array of things, mostly spinner baits, buzz baits, jigs, swim jigs, and more importantly, tungsten. He bought a huge amount of tungsten and is going to be selling the product under the Epic name that'll be out probably at around the Bassmasters Classic. We already have the products. Right now we're just finalizing the Signature Series stuff. Scott Suggs is also involved in building some jigs for us also. And I think we've got another guy also. But the conglomerate coming together with that adds on to my sponsor portfolio that's already, what it is today. And so everybody's the same. Nobody left. Nobody's gone. They're all there. They're all backing, Dean Rojas, and everybody is excited for this Suzuki Blazer, combination of things because the amount of promotion that they're going to put behind it, everybody's going to win.
Jesse Tacarante was the only Blazer on the Elite Series this year, if I remember that correctly off the top of my head.
Yes.
And he didn't, so you'll have the only, with the 5 Suzuki guys, and you'll have the only Suzuki Blazer on tour.
Correct, yes.
I can't imagine there's many Suzuki Blazers out there. That combo, that's got to be a unique combo too, so that'll be interesting to see that one.
Well, it's always like, you know, I'm always going in uncharted territory, and that's what I thrive on. I don't like doing what everybody else is doing. So if this starts out to be a great trend, you know, Keith Crafted Blazer, he was excited to put the Suzuki on there. He wants to see what it's going to do. He already knows he's got a fast hull. He wants to see how the outboard's going to do. And I don't see a problem. I really don't. I've seen Brandon Card run up and down plenty fast, you know, and keep up with us. So I'm not concerned about the speed, and I know I've got the boat to do it with. So, I mean, it's a proven track record. You have Blazer, who's been around for 40 years, and then you have Suzuki, who has a great 250 SS outboard. I mean, you put those two together, you know it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. So I'm just looking forward to showcasing their brands and bringing it to the limelight of the product that they build and show everybody how great it is.
Very cool. Now, a number of people, once again on the instant feedback, they want to know if we can take this opportunity. They all say congratulations, by the way.
Oh,
they want to know if we can take this opportunity to ask you some questions about the upcoming 2018 season.
Sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Mark in Minnesota wants to know, are there any specific events this year that you're really looking forward to?
All of them. All of them. You know what? Going to South Dakota, I think I'm really excited about that. You know, anytime we go to a new body of water like that's just awesome. And it's a big, you know, the lake is really long, and it fishes probably a lot like Lake Mead and Lake Havasu, kind of a desert type of, you know, atmosphere there. So I'm excited to go there. You know, going back up to Waddington, catching the big smallmouth, going to La Crosse again, Wisconsin, going to Grand Lake in your guys' backyard. That's going to be awesome. I've done well there many, many times. You know, starting at Martin is going to be a change, you know, kind of different things, but I'm excited about that. I mean, Kentucky Lake, I mean, it's loaded with great fisheries, and all of them where I've had top 10s at. So for me, I'm excited for the whole schedule and excited to get the season started.
All right. Jimmy wants to know, do you catch a lot of smallmouth on the Frog?
Do I?
Jimmy always has good comments and questions.
Does.
Not on purpose.
Okay.
Usually when I catch, but yes, I do catch a considerable amount on a smallmouth on the Frog. But in a sense, I'm more efficient for the largemouth bass, and then occasionally a smallmouth will come up and clobber it. And you know what's interesting about that, Jimmy, is when we were at Oneida, when I won there a few years back, it was a deal where the poppin' frog was something I would throw on the shoals, and I would have, you know, a lot of big smallmouth clobber it, and that's kind of where I discovered that they'll eat the frog really good, was on Lake Oneida in New York. And so using that, and then using in different areas and so forth, like a Waddington, and catch them on there on it. So yes, there are a lot of places that you can catch them on the Frog, but it's not, you know, predominant bait that you want to throw to catch a smallmouth. There's a lot better ones too.
I don't want to get into frog questions, but I do want to ask this. Have you ever caught the hat trick on a frog in a day? A keeper spot, a keeper smallmouth, and a keeper largemouth?
Yes, I have.
Yep. Oh, very nice. That's cool. All right, let's see here. Brian in Philly wants to know, is there one event in 2018 that you're not looking forward to?
No, not really. No. You know, I've been doing this long enough, you know, and that's the thing about it, is you want to go in with a fresh mind every time. And the minute you start thinking any kind of doubts or, man, I don't want to be here, it's like a cancer, man. And any little thing that doesn't go right just compounds it and builds it and builds it and builds it until you're just like, mentally you're wiped out. So are there other places I would rather go? Yes, but I have to, you know, that has to be my favorite lake. When I launch my boat and start my practicing, that is my favorite lake at that particular moment. And that's the attitude that I go into every event, is staying focused. The only thing I can control is what's in front of me, and in the lake and the situations that I have in front of me is what I have to perform at. So whatever the lake is capable of producing, you have to rise to that level and make sure that you're around the right fish that'll put you in position to win.
Nicholas in Alabama, first time instant feedback guy. I don't remember a Nicholas. Do you, Matt? And over the years?
I don't know. It kind of sounds familiar.
Really?
No. Go ahead. What's his question?
He wants to know, how do you think Lake Martin will play out? And with all this stuff going on, did you get a chance to go practice at any of the venues, including Lake Martin, to get ready?
No, I haven't had any time to practice. The only practice that I've been doing is here on Lake Havasu, and just going fishing when I can. It's been a very, very busy off season for me, and this has been like too, because last year I had the wrist surgery and I couldn't fish at all during the winter break and everything, and then this year I feel great, and I can't because I'm traveling or I've got work to do in the office, putting things together, making sure everybody's taken care of. And it's a big operation trying to get, like you mentioned, Matt, just the jerseys, the raft, the floor graphics, the truck, the boat, and tackle, the rods, reels. I mean, there's just so much stuff to that. So for me, my homework is already I'm working on that right now for all my lakes. As many of you know, when my truck and boat leave here, they don't come back until the end of the season. So when I pack, I have to pack for everything. Right. And so I have a list of the lakes, all written out in the bottom of my garage. And each time I look at a bait or a box, I go down that list. And I go, well, I need it there at that time of year. So all that takes time. So all that's preparation. That's all stuff that I'm preparing here to know when I get there, I'll have everything I need.
Have you ever forgotten a box? You ever gotten to a lake and gone, oh, crap, I totally forgot about that?
Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but every now and again, I'll forget a box, or my son, Austin Little Machine, will take the box. And put it
I remember that. Didn't he take your good frog box one time? I remember that. We were on the road, and Dean was in the back at the I think we were staying at the same hotel, and we were doing an interview with him. And he was like, I got to get this out. And he starts rummaging through the back, and he's pulling out all the trays and everything. And he goes, hold on, I got to make a phone call. And he calls the wife. He goes, hey, put Austin on the phone. And he had snagged your good frog box because he had a little Havasu jackpot that he had to fish.
Yes. And since then, that's all been cleared up. Every box that he has an A on it, okay, which means Austin for him. So I'll tell you a quick little story. He got a little frisky with that, where he just thought he could just put an A on any box. So I didn't realize until one day I was walking by his bedroom and I looked under his bed, and all I saw were these Plano 3700s all stacked up underneath his bed. I'm like, what the heck's he got down there? So I looked down there, and every one of those boxes had a big A on it. And some of those were my tournament boxes that I had, that I put together and everything. So we cleared everything up. I said, man, you got it. This is your tackle stuff over here, and this is mine. I don't mind you dipping into it, but you got to let me know, So, but he's doing really good. They won a team tournament over the weekend. That little dude's making a lot of money for being 16 years old. He's doing really good, and I'm really proud of him and stuff. So he loves the fishing.
All right, Matt in North Carolina wants to know, are you going to save money in fuel costs this year, Dino?
In fuel costs, well, the outboard burns, great. It has great fuel mileage already. I don't foresee that being, a problem this year. It really never has been. The exception of just, maybe coming out west, driving back and forth cross country. But for the most part, the tournaments are pretty grouped up, with the exception of the South Dakota event. So I don't foresee us, making, with the exception of probably Waddington, and any big long runs. Maybe Kentucky Lake, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Nothing too big.
Yeah. Brian in Philly wants to know, do you have any inside info on a possible 2019 Western swing with the Elite Series?
I have not heard a peep on that. I would love to have it. I know all the pros, they always ask me, when are we going back to Lake Havasu? And, I was pretty instrumental in putting that together. And the group of people that were in the chamber at that time were bass fishing fans on top of that. So they understood the impact of everything. They would have called me if something was brewing, for guidelines, I would imagine. But I haven't heard a peep on here in Arizona, for Lake Havasu. But it doesn't mean we can't go to Lake Mead, or Lake Mojave. Any of those lakes, they're big enough to hold an elite event, no problem at all. And then, obviously going up to Stockton, up in California Delta, if Clear Lake, all those great fisheries up there. And I mean, you go to Shasta. I mean, there's so many big lakes up there in Northern California. But I think what would be really cool is to go up to Columbia, Washington, on the Columbia River up there.
Yeah.
That's a big river up there, and we fished a couple invitationals back there in '97, and that's a great fishery up there. Of course, you have Coeur d'Alene not too far from there also. So you never know. They may put a couple up there in the northwest region of the United States. That'd be great.
Where are you going to be for Classic Week? Obviously, a lot of people are probably going to be at the Classic there at Hartwell. Is Suzuki going to have a booth there? Is Blazer going to have boats there? Where can they find you to talk fishing?
Well, the great thing is for the Classic, one of the great things, I didn't make the Classic, so but in the sense that I get to talk to a lot of fans, and when you're a competitor and you're in that realm, they don't see you very often. They see you on stage and you're maybe a few autographs and then you're gone. So I'll be able to spend 3 days there at the show, and I'll be in the Suzuki booth predominantly most of the time. I'm going to split that up with the Spro people. But even better than that, talking with Spro, we're gonna have daily frog giveaways out of the Suzuki booth and out of the Spro booth to kids and to families, and we're going to be giving those away. So you need to come by the Suzuki booth. Come by, because we're going to have a lot of great giveaways on top of that. There'll be hats and shirts and stickers, all that great stuff. So just come by the Suzuki booth. I will be there and answer all your questions. We can talk frogging, we can talk fishing, or tell you how great the 250 SS is.
Hey, this is pretty cool, Dino. There's two people on the instant feedback. One is Clay in Arkansas, and then once again, Nicholas from Alabama. They would like to see a one-on-one live between you and Ish Monroe or you and Fred Robanus on a frog bite.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good with that. Ish is one of my good friends, and I would love that. I would love to have the opportunity to go in against those guys. Look, they're all great froggers. There's no doubt about it. So I don't have, I would love it. I'd love to be in the boat with both of them. And the cool thing is I could probably learn something from them as well as they could probably learn something from me. So it's really not – I like it. It's kind of old school, invitational fishing back in the day like we used to do. So, heck, I'll go toe-to-toe. I'm not scared.
I think what they were talking about, the new feature that we launched, the one-on-one live,
boats,
that's what they want to see. We may have to talk about that, Dino. All right. Let's see here. David in Wisconsin wants to know, any plans on fishing the U.S. Open?
The U.S. Open, I don't know if they have put their dates out yet.
They have.
They have? What are they, Matt?
It's like October. Hold on here.
He's looking it up.
Okay.
Hey, well, Jay in Texas wants to know while he's looking that up, and I think you mentioned it earlier, he wants to know how many guys will be running Suzukis on the Elite Series.
There will be 5 guys running the Suzukis. Brandon Card will be one, Adrian Avina, Gerald Sport, Clifford Perch, and myself. So there'll be 5 of us out there this
October 15th through 17th.
As of right now, I can do it. We have a Major League Fishing event the following week. So I'm going to have to check the interview.
But there's a good chance.
Yeah.
Well,
there's always a chance.
Well, and then Austin would be your AAA guy.
Yeah.
Remember how many of those have you fished? You fished not a lot of those U.S.
At least
Opens.
a dozen of them.
Yeah.
That was the event to fish when I was here, growing up here in the West. But I think that, that week is open. If it's open, I will be fishing the U.S. Open.
Folks, I would also just like to say, if you're watching the replay, you can see the large 3x5 calendar behind Rojas. You can't see what's on it, but you can tell by the months. If you're on the iTunes, it's just 3x5. It's got it by the month. I've done that for, 8-9 years? Mark, You've done that for 20 years. Yeah. That is the best way to organize your life. Regardless of what you do, you can mark
Even if you have an iPhone or
Here's
whatever.
what I do. I got 8 different colors, and if it's an Elite Series tournament, I mark it off in blue. If it's a tournament I'm fishing, I mark it off in red. If it's a family event, I mark it off in yellow. And then you can just glance up there. I mean, just for a life organization, totally unrelated to fishing, get yourself a big calendar.
Yeah. That and I need a map of the United States also, because it's always about where I'm flying into and where I'm going at. But I have a calendar right here like right next to the computer where I can look at it, glance. But on a big picture, big scale, right now all the 2018 Bassmaster events and Major League Fishing events are on there right now. So, and that includes the bracket and the AOY Championship. So that's already on there. And there's 15 events on there. So you block off 15 events. That's it's 30 weekends because you're there the weekend, and so that's a big chunk of time that you're devoting to the business of doing this. So. You have to that. It's imperative because I need to see where I'm going to be at, where I'm at geographically, and where I need to go and be prepared for.
What's up with that purple unicorn cushion?
My wife put that there just for you, Matt, because you're dating a barrel racer right now.
Oh.
So my wife says, I'm going to put a nice purple horsey pillow here for you.
I like that. That is.
She likes to do.
That's a cute pillow.
Matt, that's for you. Okay, that's just for you.
Oh my gosh. Jeez. The unicorn.
I'm speechless.
Jeez. Wow.
So.
All right, Carl in Ohio wants to know: are you still on the Duckett team?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, Boyd Duckett. Absolutely. We're look. They're a great company, great people, great things coming out of them. Absolutely, they do. My whole Terex line of fishing rods, all my frog. I have 3 different frog rods that I use for different situations. There's a lot of videos on that, on basic actions that I like to use. So yes, I'm with Duckett Fishing. Absolutely.
Are you and Roy Hawk going to have the Battle of Lake Havasu City now that you're both on the Elite Series?
No, it's not a battle, man. It's dude, I'm just doing my job, man.
How big is Lake Havasu City, though? How many residents does it have full time? Not counting the crazy college kids.
Probably about 50,000.
Okay, 55, so to have 2 Elite Series pros out of one, but I mean, I don't know, Havasu's there. That's pretty cool. We had him on the show last month, so.
Yeah. I've always told you Havasu is a great training ground to be on the tour because it adds so many different variables to stuff that we fish out on the tour. So you can learn so much here on how to catch them, and so he's been able to do that as well. He does well here. Different aspect on the tour though. You got to catch them, and it's very very.
Does he ever fish those Wednesday nighters?
Yeah, we fish together all the time.
So you mean you've got Rojas and Roy Hawk in your Wednesday night jackpot on Havasu?
Yeah, absolutely.
That would not be fun.
When it's 115 degrees out, yeah, it's fun, man. It's just a frogging deal. You go out and just try and catch as many as you can, as big as and so it's fun.
When are the red ear sunfish going? Are they going now?
They will. They'll start spawning in April or something like that. But right now you catch the really big ones. This is usually when the record is broken, is around this time. Usually late fall, right around Christmas time, in the first month. It's like January and February.
We're talking like 5-pound red ear sunfish.
Yeah. In fact, Sunday when I was fishing, I probably saw the world record red ear. I thought it was a bass, and there was one tree in the water. And the water's crystal clear, so you can see way down there. And the tree was in about 12 feet of water, and it was clear around it. And I just see these big objects swimming around down there. And I'm looking at them, but they're short. They're not real long like a bass is, just short and compact. And I look down there, so I flipped my little drop shot down there just to see what had happened, and it went through the tree. And all of a sudden, that thing turned on its side and went down to go look at the drop shot. And it was a red ear. I mean, it was monster. I mean, every bit of 5 pounds, every bit of it. I mean, you could see on its side when it rolled, just the belly of it going down to go chase the drop shot. And I'm sitting there waiting on it. I can't see it because it went down there, and I'm just working. I'm just waiting for the tick, because that's usually how those big ones are caught. They're either caught on a jig, a drop shot, or a shaky head, and sometimes on a crankbait. So. Pretty cool stuff.
Didn't I see an article a while back where you actually were going out with the DNR there and helping them do some stuff and shocked up some monster ones?
Yes, I work real closely with the Department of Game and Fish here in Arizona. I'm lucky to go on some neat things that they do, and they invite me every year to do a shocking survey on Havasu. I went 2 times this fall. And it was great. It really shows you how much the lake comes alive at night, because that's all we're doing is shocking. And what it is just a boom that hangs out in front of the boat, and there's a cable and a big ball that's in the water. And they have they call it the black box because they don't want anybody else to have this thing, because you can really do some damage on a fisher. You know what I mean? But anyways, it would hit you'd hit the charge and it would shock them, and then they would come floating to the surface. And so we had a lot of big red ears, and the biggest one we had was about a 4-pounder. And so there's a picture of me holding it. And so I can send it to you, but and that was the biggest one we had that night. But you could see them swimming around. You see the crawfish everywhere the whole lake comes alive. There's a lot of bait fish on the bank, and there's crawdads running around, and smallmouth, largemouth, everything's swimming around. And so it's really cool. It's just a different aspect of what we do on the tour, fishing during the daytime, and then what happens at night.
Wow. All right, a couple more questions from the instant feedback, and then I have one final question. Tommy wants to know, have you ever caught a striper on a frog at Havasu?
Oh, absolutely. Lots of times. Yeah, many times. Yeah, especially in the summertime. And look, you could throw them when they're schooling out there. It doesn't matter. I mean, you work that frog so fast that they're just going to come up and clobber it. So, yeah, I've caught some really big stripers on it. I remember one of the biggest ones I ever caught was at Smith Lake. And they're in Alabama, and when I was just working the frog, and I remember I was working it across a bay, and man, one of them big stripers, man, he smoked it. It was about a 16-pounder, scared the heck out of me, but ended up bringing him in. But yes, I do catch a lot of stripers on it. You know, it's interesting realizing throwing the frog how many enemies that little dude has. Okay, everybody wants to eat him. It's amazing because, I mean, I've caught turtles on them. The birds want to get them. I've had snakes try and get them. Raccoons. I mean, you name it. Everybody wants to eat a frog. So they must be pretty tasty, I would assume, and easy pickings for the predators.
All right. John wants to know, when you had an opportunity to spend some time in the Blazer boat, what was the favorite thing that you liked about it?
The favorite thing that I liked about the Blazer was the layout. The layout of the boat, the big deck on the front, reminded me of a lot of the stuff that I like to see in a bass boat. And so I was really impressed with the way the layout is, the rod boxes, the storage compartments, and the way they thought about how you're re-rigging. And there's some great videos on YouTube on a 625 Pro Elite that I think you should look at, because it kind of makes sense on how, when you're sitting down in the boat, you know, how to have your boxes, your scissors, your pliers, everything in arm's reach. And so I know the last few I've had boats that I was fighting the boat. The boat wasn't where I'd have to go way over here to get this and go way over to get that. And it was just, they kind of got away from just being the simplicity of being an angler, and the ease of it all. So that's what I liked about the boat, the simplicity of it. And because those are fishing machines, man, they're built to go fast and to go fishing. You don't water ski behind them. You don't. It's not a day you want to just ride around it. I mean, those things are built for fishing, right. and so they have to help you do your job. And they have a lot of neat things that boat offers that makes my job easier, and obviously the consumer that purchased the product. So, and you have a lot of happy boat owners.
All right, there you have it. Once again, Matt P. in North Carolina. We asked this already, but several other people want to know, who are you going to represent at the Classic from a booth standpoint? Where can they see you at?
I will be predominantly in the Suzuki booth. I have a feeling that I'm going to be doing a lot of commentating as well, because it being at Hartwell, and I led the first day of the event last time we were there. And finished in the top 5 in that event. So I would imagine they'll be calling. And so aside from that, I'll probably be in the Suzuki booth and in the Spro booth as well. And we're gonna have lots of giveaways. So bring the kids, bring everybody out, and we'll autograph a ton of frogs and give a lot of stuff away. It's gonna be fun.
He's positive, but it's killing him.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you have that streak.
Matt, like I said, you got to take the situation that's in front of you and make the best of it. So
yeah.
We're going to
all right. This has got to be an inside thing here. Mike in Florida wants to know if you worked on your ping pong game. Did you get destroyed in ping pong, Dino?
Well, this goes way back, okay? I know who this gentleman is. Well, I wouldn't call him a gentleman. But he's a good friend of mine, so I can say that. But early on in my career, probably back right after I broke the record, I think, I stayed at his house, and he had a ping pong table. And he said, hey, you want to play? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty good at it. Well, I didn't realize I was playing against, one of the Olympic guys who plays ping pong, because he had all the trick ball spin and all this stuff. And he running around that garage like crazy. Anyways, he whooped me bad. All right. So up until then, we've played a couple times since then, but that's kind of like the laughing joke is ping pong, because the problem with ping pong, I start laughing because it gets so funny at times, because the rallies and you saved a shot and you got one in, and you know what I'm talking about. So, it's fun to play ping pong, with people that are fun, and you can just laugh and just have a good time with it.
All right. By the way, you know who is a really, really good ping pong player that fishes? Is Clark Wendland. I mean, really? He is really, really good. Yeah, we had a battle a long time ago. We used to have this thing. It was Oklahoma versus Texas.
In a ping pong battle?
No.
Oh.
In fishing. Okay. And it was a 3-day deal. But
with Wade Middleton, and you'd go down to a
Falcon.
Texoma or Falcon.
It was at Falcon.
Yeah.
And we actually had a ping pong tournament that evening.
Didn't you commentate that?
No, I was in it because I played ping pong.
No.
Good.
You commentated you were there, a TV commentator.
Yeah, me and Terry Brown.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can find any of those.
Anyway, he won the championship. He beat me in the championship. He was really, really, really good.
Have I ever played you?
No.
I know I played Rojas.
No, he was really, really good. So there you have it. All right, a couple more, Dino. Hopefully, we're not keeping you from anything. We're going a little.
He's got his deals already done, Mark. He's already traveled all over. He's just hanging out, waiting for his boat to get wrapped.
We're going a little long here. All right, Andy in Indiana. I'm kind of going to deviate from his question, but it's still kind of related. For somebody that really wants to get their very first boat, what would be better, an 18-foot boat or a 19-foot boat, and why?
I think the first thing you need to look at is the body of water you're going to fish in. If you're just going to fish around, small lakes, an 18-footer is good. If you're around bigger bodies of water, obviously the bigger boat will be a better one. Second choice, if you're going to have people that are going to go with you fishing, then obviously the bigger boat will be better. But if it's just something you're just going to go out with yourself and just go, you need some alone time, just go fishing, 18-footer is perfect for that. Bigger is usually better when it comes to that, in the sense of more storage, more room, less things to trip over, that sort of thing. But ultimately, cost is a big thing, on what your budget is. So you have to find out what is best, for you under those scenarios that I just gave you, because that is going to help you dictate, what boat and what's going to be best for you, to go out there and enjoy a great day on the lake.
Let's see here. Tommy, and I don't know where Tommy is, wants to know, can you convince Duckett to come out with a red Duckett rod?
Oh, boy. Here we go. So we have this conversation every year, okay? And the thing about it, the cool thing about it is when you go into Duckett's office and Sean there, in their office, it's nothing but fishing rods all the way around the whole office. And there's one section of the wall there's red fishing rods. When Boyd Duckett was with Laser Lure, Carrot Sticks made them red fishing rods to match the Laser lures, which was that big then.
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, way back in the day. So still has them there, and they're beautiful. I mean, you're drawn to them. You just want to go over and pick them up and just, and it's amazing that how they look. And when I was with Quantum, my frogging rods were red, and man, people love the red fishing rod. So we talk about it every time, and it's always a hot topic. But the wall is crumbling down a little bit. I'm out there with a hammer and chisel hammering on them, but I foresee something like that coming down the line. And red is power. Power is you can see it comes out, it shows up well. There's a lot of great things that come with that.
All right, we opened the show right before we brought you on. We talked about what is behind you, that tomorrow is the 17th anniversary. And I know it's been dissected and people have talked about that day, but I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this. When that day was over, Dino, and you were back at the hotel or wherever you were, and you were by yourself, you're just sitting there reflecting on what just took place, what were you thinking about? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember all of it. For me, at that time, Mark, the record really didn't mean a whole lot to me. I'll say that now because that's how I felt at that point. Because ever since I was a little boy, okay, all I ever wanted to do was to win a bass event, okay? And coming from where I came from, in San Diego, fishing out here in the West, qualifying through here, going to the top 150s, traveling around, just trying to make it, just trying to be a professional bass fisherman. And all the hard work and all the people that told me I could never do it, and I knew it myself. I believed in my heart that I could do it. And so for me, the record was just a stepping stone to the win at Toho. And at that moment, I really didn't care. And it wasn't until the night after that, which was the second night, Denny Brower and I shared a sponsor back then. I remember it was eangler.com, and the ping pong player Mike, he was involved in that. So that's why I say we go way back.
Yeah.
Anyways, we had dinner that night, and I remember Denny mentioning to me, and I'll never forget this for the rest of my life, because he told me, he goes, man, that was a heck of a catch. And I said, yeah, it was good. I said, but I just want to win the event. And I just want to win the tournament. And you know how Denny kind of looks at you and just kind of stares and kind of smirks, it was one of those looks. And I'm like, I didn't know whether he was going to punch me or he's going to push me or do something. I didn't know what he would do. And he goes, you don't realize what you've done, do you? I said, no. I said, I just want to win the event. And he told me in the party, I'll never go, he said, you're going to win the event. And you're going to win throughout your career. You're going to win a lot of events. But that record you did will never be broken. And you will always be noted for that record. That 45 pounds, 2 ounces will never be broken. And I remember him telling me that. He goes, that is something that you can always hang your hat on. And so I've always thought about that. And even to this day, I've won numerous events since then. But I only celebrate one day when it comes to professional bass fishing, and that's tomorrow. Yeah. Because the longer I'm in this, the longer I appreciate what a day it is. And I guess I'm lucky in the aspect and very grateful that I was able to experience a day that everybody dreams about, and that's catching, 2 10-pounders, a 9 and 8 and so forth. And let me just kind of show you something real quick. I'm going to take this off the shelf. Big Dave Smith, okay, at what's the name of his company?
MTM Recognition.
Yeah, these are the original wave slips, okay, that I had, that they wrote down, because they wrote down everything back then. These are the original wave slips when I broke the record, 45 pounds, 2 ounces.
Wow.
And then the total weight was 100, 108, 12. And so since then, that's been broken. But back in the day, this is how that they would do it. They'd write it down. Yeah. And it says right here, it says it has the actual individual weights of the fish. And you can barely see it's a 10-0, an 8-2, a 9-5, a 7-9, and a 10-13. Those were my 5 fish that I weighed in for the 45 pounds, 2 ounces.
Really disappointed in that 7-5. What the heck happened, dude? Couldn't catch another big one?
Oh, man.
That's part of it, and I've got, a few things. I got the Bassmaster magazine covers for that. And all my fish and chip trophies up there, my plaques and so forth, and all my neat things. So I've got boxes and stuff like that. It's just, but those are the ones that mean a lot to me.
So Nicholas wants to know from Alabama, who did the mount? How'd you get the mount?
Lake Fork Taxidermy did my mount.
You were living in Texas at the time, right?
No, I was living here in Arizona.
Oh, you were in Arizona. Okay.
So, but they built the mount, and then they gave it to me a month later when I won Toledo Bend, which was a back-to-back win. So whenever you see me on stage, there's a lot of photos of me on stage holding a plaque and then holding the mount is with me. That was 1 month later that they had done the mount. So I don't know if you can see, but there's bluegill and shad. It's a whole scene of 45 pounds of awesomeness up there. It's about 6 feet wide. The thing weighs about almost 80 pounds. It's a big unit, and so but it's awesome, and there are times where you're just like, you may not be feeling the best at all, and you can always turn around and look, and things like that can happen, because it happened to me, and as long as you believe and you can things can happen. I wish everybody could experience that, because I was lucky. I was fortunate that I did that by myself, and everybody should experience catching 5 9-pounders. That was just awesome. And the way I did it, just watching them eat my bait. I mean, it was just, and catching them 20 feet away. It was total combat fishing at its best, and just phenomenal. So there's actually 3 of these mounts that are made. I have the one. There's one at the Bass headquarters there in Alabama, and then Skeeter has one there at their headquarters there in Kilgore, Texas.
So one's for sale. If you really want to get a piece of that,
it may show up on eBay or something. Who knows? No, I don't know. I mean, come on.
It's a joke.
It's a joke. That's a part of history. Part of history, man.
It's all good, man. Hey, there's a lot of great people over there. There's a lot of great people at Yamaha. There's no ill feelings at all.
Yeah. I will say that was the smoothest in-interview hat change that I've ever seen in the history of BTL. I did not even notice it until about 5 minutes after. I said, well, that's a Blazer hat. That's very well done, Dean. Very well done. That was very smooth.
Very, very slick. All right. I do want to mention this. We do have a lot of viewers, a lot of new listeners, a lot of new viewers. One of my best memories, one of my best Dean Rojas memories, and it was crazy. Dean actually came into town for fish and chips when we were having it. It was in conjunction with my 50th birthday party. And I actually had a basketball game, and Dean said, come on, man, let's go to the game. So he decided that you and Dave, and I think that was it. It was just you and Dave and Dean,
yeah,
right?
It was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so we're in this
tiny little gym.
We're in this town in Oklahoma called Lexington, Oklahoma.
You were wearing a sweater vest, Nike shoes, combed hair.
In the middle of nowhere. Population maybe 3,500 in this tiny gym, and Dean walks into this gym, and the lady that's taking tickets goes, oh my gosh, are you Dean Rojas? Out in the middle of nowhere. Wanted to know if he was Dean Rojas. And here he is in a gym in the middle of nowhere, and somebody recognized Dean and wanted to talk fishing. And I thought that was just freaking awesome.
Well, the funniest thing she said was, what are you doing in our little town? I said, a good friend of mine, Mark Jeffries, is the head coach of the basketball team, and we're coming here to support him because we just want to watch him coach. We've never watched Mark Jeffries coach, which is I love it. I want to go to another one because it's cool to watch you down the court yelling at the kids.
So that was really, really cool. And I have not been back to that gym.
I think that was the only game you didn't Bo Jackson a clipboard over your knee.
I've mellowed out
a little. This has a pile of clipboards in the corner.
I've mellowed out. A couple of people, Dino, and we're going to end on this. Dude, you've had a tremendous career. I think you got a lot of years left in you.
Yeah.
But from a long-term perspective, are you looking down the road to say, hey, I want to do this for 10 more years. I want to do it for 20 more years. I mean, is there a plan in place to where you do reach a certain milestone and go, all right, man, that's it. This is my last year on tour. Or is it just going to be a moment thing?
I think it's going to be a combination of everything, Mark. I still love what I do, and I love to compete. There's a few anglers that are out there still that I love going toe-to-toe with every single event. That gets me motivated. So for me, I see that there's a lot of things that I still want to achieve. There's still a Classic win that I want. There's still an AOY that I want to win. So there's a lot of things that are still there that motivate me, that make me want to do that. On the flip side of that, there are things that are already and I wouldn't say changing, but like adjusting in a sense that, you know, some of the capacity of the Suzuki stuff is to mentor a lot of the younger anglers. And so I don't have a problem with that, you know, and showing them, you know, some of the neat things that they can do to elevate themselves. So that was one of the big things that they talked about. And with my other manufacturers as well, they look at how I do my business and how I, showcase the product and how, I do things. They want to spread that with the whole team. So, on the Blazer side, the same way, and on the Suzuki side. So, is there a change that's happening? Yeah. Do I embrace it? Absolutely. Because I'm still in the sport, and I don't foresee myself, not competing for a while, because I enjoy it too much. And so for me, there's nothing better than catching them on a frog during competition. I mean, that's the best thing ever. So I don't foresee, that going away anytime soon. But, do you kind of feel like things are changing? Yeah, absolutely. You see it. I mean, I still think of myself as that 25-year-old kid trying to make it. It's a constant fight and a constant, drive to want to succeed. And the day that I lose that is the day I'll hang it up. But going into 2018, I feel like I'm 26 years old and trying to prove myself, I do that every year going into it. So, and maybe that's the reason why I've been successful is my train of thought on how to approach it, how to stay fresh, how to stay motivated, and to look at the great things that the sport, can provide. And it's provided me with a lot of great gifts. I am so grateful for the sport of professional bass fishing, being able to build frogs and build fishing rods and build baits for Big Bite and, be with this company and that company and watch them grow and watch the consumers come in and buy the product and be happy. And one of my best things that I've ever heard, and I've heard this multiple times, is dads coming up to me and thanking me for designing the frog, because now their 13-year-old boy wants to go fishing with them, and so and I get emails and messages. I mean hundreds of them of those type of experiences where the dads are so excited because now their kid wants to go fishing, is because a lure that I helped create, and a technique that is fun to go fishing, and they are just grateful that their kid wants to go fishing with them. And so for me, that is the most flattering part of what I do.
All right. Very, very cool, man. I can't thank you enough. Almost 90 minutes.
Oh, it's good, man.
For the show. And wish you the best, Dino. And I really, really appreciate the support that you've shown us over the years. And, dude, I will never forget that tournament at Lake Dardanelle. And that's kind of when the whole thing got started as far as us. So I really appreciate all the support. And, Matt, you got anything else?
No, all good. Congratulations. Yeah. And look forward to seeing how things go for you in 2018.
It's going to be a lot of fun, boys. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And look forward to coming back. And hopefully when I got a big blue trophy next to me, that'd be great.
Blue trophies are good, man.
They're always good. I got lots of them.
All right, man. Take care.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. There you have it. Dean Rojas. Very cool stuff. Big announcement. Suzuki, Blazer. And it's going to be interesting. Obviously, performance-wise in 2018, I don't think he's going to duplicate what he did in 2017. I think he's...
No, I mean, before they remember 2016, he was in running for the Angler of the Year.
Yeah.
But you kind of forget Dean is at how much he has accomplished in the sport. Yeah, he has the record 45-2. He has the Elite Series win. He has 4 wins, but with bass. But he is 14th all time on the money list with Bassmaster. And I mean, you look at the hundreds and hundreds of guys who have competed at the professional level over the year, and to be 14th, I believe he's the last angler, and these are stats courtesy of Ken Duke, who sent me that list in early January. So these are up to date, but he's at last. There's 14 guys who have, I believe, $2 million in earnings, and he eclipsed that.
Future Hall of Famer
past year.
Future Hall of Famer.
Dude, I don't know how people get into the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. I would assume so. Yeah, I mean, he's got the record. He's 14th all time. He has 4 wins. He's been in professional for over 2 decades.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of people with a lesser resume than Rojas currently has, just from a tournament standpoint, that are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think he's a lock.
Yep. Speaking of which, angler who is in the Hall of Fame is Harold Allen.
Yes.
Did you see what he did this past weekend?
I did not.
He won a Texas team tournament with over 28 pounds.
On Toledo Bend?
I think it was Toledo Bend.
That's his own body of water, dude.
I know, but I mean, that's still
280
that's
days
still
a year.
impressive. I mean, he was looking good. Mustache was looking nice and trimmed. You know, him and his partner were holding up 4 hogs. So, congratulations to Harold, who does not know how to turn a computer on or probably have an iPhone or know what a podcast even means.
He's got a flip phone.
So, he will not hear this, but congratulations to Harold Allen.
How much? 28 pounds?
Yeah, 28.
He was dialed in.
Yep.
Dialed in big time. Anything else that I missed over the weekend?
Nope. Not that I'm aware of.
Trying to think. No, I think that's it.
All right. That wasn't a long show. 90 minutes.
Yeah. Hey, I want to appreciate great appreciation for the people on the instant feedback. Great questions today.
We're working on some interesting guests for Thursday. We will be back next show Thursday, 9 a.m. Central Time.
Yes.
With someone. Or multiple people.
Can you tease anything?
No. Okay. You were the guy who was going to get in touch to tease.
I'm still working on one.
Okay.
And we're working on that. He's got a schedule conflict, but he's trying to work it out.
All right. Well, it will be out once we have that confirmed as our guest on Thursday. Big thanks to Dean Rojas.
Yeah. Suzuki Blazer, 2018.
Yep.
Gonna make it happen. And tomorrow's the anniversary. 17 years. How much weight was it?
45.2.
There you go. You're all over.
With a 7-pounder.
Yeah. Giving him grief because he had a 7.
I know he didn't like that.
No, he's like, Matt Panger, what are you doing? All right, so we will be back Thursday, 9 a.m. usual time, right here on BTL. Everybody be safe. Try and stay warm. We will talk to you on Thursday.